Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope you're keeping safe. I hope you are being kind to one another. It's really stressful right now. We're under lockdown, so those can bring out a lot of feelings of anxiety and stress. And I just hope we're all channeling our energy into things that are productive and conducive to our self-growth. But today I want to talk about self-kindness. So, what do you think it means to be self-kind? I don't want these videos to just be me rambling on. I want to engage in a conversation with you. I want to tickle your cognitive processes when it comes to talking about these things. So, when I think about kindness, self-kindness, and compassion, and the concept of kindness and compassion is different among so many different people. It's how they perceive it, but and the end point and the bottom line is that we are spreading love and positivity. But my definition and my interpretation of self-kindness um, is actually formed on the foundation, or the foundation of it is based on a few different things. So the first thing that I base self-kindness on is understanding. And it's understanding about yourself, being understanding with yourself. How about I put it like that? Yeah, being understanding with yourself. I'll give you a good example because that's really the only way I can get it out to you guys. If you are writing a test, whether you're working or studying or whatever, um, and you get your result back and it's not what you think it is, it can be very disheartening. It's just, obviously it's never a nice thing. And when I don't get a result, speaking from personal experience, when I don't get a result that is what I expected it to be, I am usually the first person to jump on myself, to step on myself, to say, I didn't work hard enough. Next time you have to work harder. I didn't study hard enough. Or maybe I'm just not as clever or as hardworking as I think. And just negative thoughts like that aren't conducive to me expanding my mindset and growing. And I think that that energy, that vibe, that attitude needs to kind of leave, especially since it's a new year. I know I'm saying it's a new year in like what, April? Yeah, it's April. Gosh, sorry, quarantine has got me forgetting my days. Um, and yeah, 2020 just hasn't started out great, and we don't need to add more energy to it. We don't need to add more bad energy to it, anyways. Um, so yeah, we need to understand that we're human. We are not perfect, and I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm not trying to say you guys are horrible or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say no one is perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Um, and that's a fact. There's no debate about it. We all have our shortcomings, we all have our quirks, which by the way are what make us amazing. We all have our qualities about ourselves that don't necessarily appeal to everyone, or that we find don't exactly extend our reach to many different parts of life. And in understanding that, I think, in understanding that we are not perfect, in understanding that we are human and we are going to make mistakes, is a great way to kind of lay down the bed for us to be like, okay, we didn't get what we expected, we didn't do what we wanted to, things didn't go as planned, but that's okay. And that for me is actually one of the most important things when it comes to being kind to yourself, because by doing that, we kind of shun those negative thoughts and the negative energy about us not being good enough or us not meeting our expectations. A second thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys have come across this, that I like to, or that I like to assume is a pillar of what self kindness is for me, is being supporting of yourself. And when I mean that, I mean forgetting all this energy about us. What's the word? Not what's the word, what's the phrase? Of us condescending ourselves. Self condescension. I wanna say that's a word. Self condescension is just such a, it's something that's actually built into us, because a lot of people are like, if they see us, praising ourselves or celebrating our successes, society has kind of built this ideology into us that, you're not allowed to celebrate yourself, you're not allowed to celebrate your success, you're not allowed to celebrate the things that you are proud of because it makes you feel or makes you look arrogant, it makes your ego look big, and that's so wrong. That's like, whoa, dude, hold the phone, we need to be able to celebrate our successes before someone else can, because in order to grow, in order to expand, I feel we need to know that within ourselves we are doing something right that's actively making us better, that's actively making us happier, that's increasing our physical and mental well-being. So that's really important, I don't think we should ever let anyone ever tell us, especially ourselves, that we aren't good enough or we haven't done well enough, We are all important and all our efforts are and should be valid. Another thing that I find isn't conducive to being compassionate to yourself is basically trying to dress to impress. And I don't mean that literally. I think we are too conscious about the things that we say, the things that we do, the things that we wear, um, and that's not great. I think we need to allow ourselves to be, just to be. We're gonna mess up, we're gonna have those days where I don't want to put on my most expensive jeans. I don't want to wear my most expensive shoes or whatever the case is, or I don't feel like wearing makeup and I don't feel like putting on jewelry. And we need to know that that is perfectly okay. Some people use makeup to find power and strength, and you go for it. You do that. This is the 21st century. Why must anyone tell you any other way? Another thing, touching on being self-conscious, we don't allow ourselves to be who we are. We don't allow ourselves to express our intrinsic qualities because we're too worried about what our neighbor might say or what that person across the room is gonna think. I think the most amazing part about being human is being different and having all these qualities that we should admire within ourselves. And I think that if we try to hide these things or if we try to put them away because we're fearful, it's just not going to work. We're all born different. We're all um, born with different things, different ideologies. We learn different things to do different things. And why are we hiding it instead of celebrating it? It's what, 2020? If someone doesn't like the way I dress, I don't know what to tell you because it's not going to stop me from dressing the way I'm going to dress. So, yeah. And I think by following or by acknowledging these things, by saying, okay, these are, I think I've mentioned three. Yeah, these are the three things, for me specifically that are the pillars of practicing self kindness. I am able to validate these things in other people. I'm able to support people, to support, my friends, my families, when it comes to them celebrating their successes, celebrating their quirkiness. And that's brilliant because that's another way that we can outwardly manifest our kindness. So I definitely hope that you guys are staying safe and you're being kind and you're practicing self-kindness because I mean we're in lockdown. And in lockdown, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the beginning. If I didn't, it's because I've made so many takes of this video and probably I've done it in a previous take. But anyways, um, lockdown can stir up feelings of anxiety and stress, and they can lead to depression and other things that just aren't healthy for you. And by channeling our energy into different activities that are conducive to us being productive, if you're still in school, studying, taking breaks, focusing on your mental health, if you're at work, making sure you're somewhat on track for work if you're working from home, stuff like that, you know. Yoga is pretty cool as well. I haven't practiced yoga though. I need to practice my flexibility, but I meditate a lot. I've been exercising a lot because I mean I've got all this time at home. So yeah, you know, reading, being creative, coloring, drawing, painting. You know, you don't have to be great at art. You know, it's a manifestation of your creativity, and no one can tell you it's bad. So just focusing on your mental health and being kind to yourself, especially now. You know, since we can't go out, since we can't see our friends and our family, it is a very trying time. But I think if we support each other and if we are kinder to one another and understanding about each of our different situations, we're gonna get through this. And yeah, guys, stay safe and be positive and creative, and yeah, catch you next time.